Here are the top stories on the hour. 5 dead after helicopter carrying foreign tourists crashes in Nepal. Kim Jong-un's sister says North Korea repelled U.S. spy plane. U.S. President visits UK ahead of Nato summit. Welcome to the World News on VOP TV. I am Kayla Abraham. U.S. President Joe Biden inspected the Guard of Honor alongside Britain King Charles III after arriving on Monday at Windsor Castle. It was Biden's first time with the British monarch since he was crowned in May. They discussed climate change and ways of mobilizing private companies to do more to bolster clean energy in developing countries. The U.S. leader also held Ukraine-focused talks in London with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Both men are attending this week's NATO summit in the Lithuanian capital, Vilnius. At least 5 people have been killed after a helicopter carrying foreign tourists crashed near Mount Everest in Nepal. Basanta Bhattacharya, the chief government administrator in the area, stated that the helicopter crashed in the Lamajura area and rescuers had recovered the bodies of 5 people and were searching for one other person. The aircraft was returning to the capital Kathmandu today after bringing the 5 tourists on a sightseeing trip to the world's highest peak. The tourists were believed to be Mexican nationals, while the pilot was Nepalese. Airport official Sagar Kadil stated that the weather conditions had caused changes to be made to the helicopter's planned flight route. It is common for flights to be delayed and routes changed during the monsoon season amid heavy rains. The tourist and mountaineering season ended in May, with the onset of the raining season, and tourist flights to the mountains are less common this time of the year as visibility is poor and weather conditions become unpredictable. Now, officials stated on Tuesday that the torrential rain over Japan's southwestern island of Kyushu triggered floods and landslides that left up to 6 people dead and rescuers searching for 3 missing. The Japan Meteorological Agency downgraded the special warnings for heavy rains issued on Monday for northern parts of the island to lower-level warnings and advisories, but urged residents to stay alert for further landslides. Japan is the latest country to be hit by unusually heavy rain in various parts of the world in recent days that has raised new fears of the pace of climate change. Meanwhile, a volcanic eruption south of Iceland's capital Reykjavik is sending plumes of smoke across a region known for its sweeping lava fields, volcanoes, and geothermal activity. The Icelandic Meteorological Office disclosed that the minor eruption began on Monday in Iceland region's peninsula, but no ash has been emitted and so far no disruptions has been reported at the country's Keflavik airport. The IMO stated that there was a 200-meter-long fissure on the slopes of the Litlihurta mountain, from which lava is emerging as a series of fountains. Scientists had warned of possible eruptions after hundreds of minor earthquakes were detected in recent weeks. Photos show streams of lava flowing along the dark fields, with small fires in the distance and thick smoke billowing in the air. Now, the powerful sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un alleged that the country's warplanes repelled a U.S. spy plane flying over nearby waters on Monday and warned of shocking consequences if the U.S. continues reconnaissance in the area. The United States and South Korea dismissed the North's accusation and urged it to refrain from any act or rhetoric that raises animosities. It's unclear if North Korea would follow through. It has made numerous similar threats over alleged U.S. reconnaissance activities, but its latest statement came and heightened animosities over North Korea's barrage of missiles tests earlier this year. Kim Yo-jong, one of her brother's top foreign policy officials, claimed that the U.S. spy plane reached into the North's Eastern Exclusive Economic Zone 8 times on Monday. In a statement carried by state media on Monday night, she claimed that the North scrambled warplanes to chase away the U.S. plane. Now, Azerbaijan has temporarily shut its checkpoints on the Seoul road linking to the breakaway Nagorno-Karabakh region with Armenia and accused the Armenian branch of the Red Cross of smuggling on Tuesday. Azerbaijan's State Border Service stated that the passage through Lachin's checkpoint of the state's border is temporarily suspended pending an investigation into the Red Cross using its medical vehicles, for smuggling. The 56th meeting of the foreign ministers of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations began on Tuesday in Indonesia. The top diplomats of Asian countries are likely to discuss the ongoing crisis in Myanmar and tensions in the South China Sea. The bloc's Secretary General Kao Kim-hoon early on Tuesday briefed the foreign ministers on the implementation of the Southeast Asia Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone Treaty Plan of Action. According to the Indonesian Foreign Ministry, the summit will be attended by some 29 countries, along with the Asian Secretariat and the European Union, and more than 1,100 delegates. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov are also expected to attend the summit, which will continue till July 14. Indonesia is the chair of ASEAN for 2023, which groups Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. Meanwhile, Indonesia's Coast Guard stated on Tuesday that it seized an Iranian-flagged supertanker suspected of involvement in the illegal transshipment of crude oil and vowed to toughen maritime patrols. The Indonesian authorities stated that the MT Oman 114 was carrying 272,569 metric tons of light crude oil valued at $304 million when it was seized last week. The Southeast Asian Nations Maritime Security Agency stated that the very large crude carrier was suspected of transferring oil to another vessel without a permit on Friday. Anne Kurnia, the agency's chief, stated that the vessel was captured after being spotted in Indonesia's North Natuna Sea, carrying out a ship-to-ship oil transfer with the Cameroon-flagged MTS Tinos. Anne told reporters that the MT Oman was spoofing the automatic identification system to show its position was in the Red Sea, but in reality, it was there. Also, the vessel's operators could not be immediately reached for comment. Thousands of South Sudanese who had crossed into Sudan since 2012 when war broke out in their country have returned home. They are being settled into already congested camps for more than 2 million internally displaced persons that lack basic necessities like shelter, food, and water. Many cannot return to villages razed by floods in the last 4 years or destroyed by fighting between different warring factions. Humanitarian organizations caring for the returnees say they are overwhelmed and have called on the international community for more funding. The UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs also stated that they expect many more people to return to South Sudan in the near future. Similarly, attacks against civilians in Sudan are raising accusations of crimes against humanity as the country nears its third month in conflict. And that is a wrap on the world news on VOP TV. I'm Kayla Abraham. VOP Business Show coming up next.